It was around 4 o'clock when Mercy's phone rang. It was her friend, Chanel. "Mercy, please come home. I've been." Her voice trailed off, unable to complete the sentence, and the phone went dead silent. All Mercy could hear was a faint heartbeat on the other end. "Chanel, hang in there. I'm coming," Mercy said as she quickly got ready to rush to her friend's house. Fear gripped her as wild thoughts raced through her mind. Did the madman do something to Chanel? Did he hurt her, beat her, stab her? None of her terrifying thoughts could prepare her for what awaited her at Chanel's house. This all began a year ago. Chanel had just endured a devastating heartbreak. Simon, her boyfriend of 3 years, had publicly ended their relationship on Facebook, humiliating her in front of his followers. None of Chanel's friends or family had ever approved of Simon. "He's a scam," Chanel's mother would say. Chanel, a 36-year-old high-achieving woman, was pursuing her PhD, had a master's degree in business, and ran a successful venture capital firm managing millions for her clients. Simon, on the other hand, was a 26-year-old university dropout whose only aspiration was to become a Facebook influencer. Despite all the red flags, Chanel had fallen for him. She was the type to always see the good in people, even if it meant overlooking glaring flaws. She showered Simon with gifts, even buying him a car just a month before he announced their breakup. The heartbreak drained Chanel emotionally. To everyone's surprise, she began forming an unusual bond with a madman who begged for food near her office. At first, Mercy thought this was Chanel's way of coping with the breakup. But as months passed, the friendship between Chanel and the madman deepened. "Do you want to date him?" Mercy asked one day, half-jokingly. "Is that it, Chanel? You want to replace Simon with a madman? Talk to me. I won't judge you." "No, not at all," Chanel replied with a shy smile. "Why would you even think that? I'm just helping him out of goodwill. One day, I'll explain everything, and it'll make sense to you." Mercy sighed in relief. "Thank goodness. I thought you were jumping from one madman to another," she teased, and the two burst into laughter. In the days leading up to that fateful night, Chanel had consulted a psychiatrist about helping the madman. "Cases like this are rare," the doctor said, concern evident on his face. "We can't just pick up someone from the street and bring them in for rehabilitation. But if he listens to you, you can bring him here yourself, and we'll see how we can help. However, you must understand that you'll be his next of kin and responsible for him," the doctor added. "I'm ready," Chanel replied with renewed hope. On the day of the incident, Chanel called Mercy to share her plan. "Are you serious? You want to take responsibility for a man you barely know, and a madman at that?" Mercy exclaimed. "Please, Mercy, just help me. I promise I'll explain everything one day, and it will all make sense," Chanel pleaded. After a long pause, Mercy relented. "Fine, but let me get this straight. You want me to help you kidnap a grown madman because you care for him? This is insane!" "Yes, I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, he listens to me, and I truly believe he can get better. Please, Mercy," Chanel implored. Reluctantly, Mercy agreed. "I'll help, but only because I know you won't quit until this is done. Just know this is absolutely crazy." "I know." At 6:30 p.m., after all the workers had left the premises, Mercy and Chanel put their plan into action. Mercy drove the car, while Chanel sat in the passenger seat. They parked near the madman, who lit up with joy upon seeing Chanel. She handed him some chicken and chips. "Listen," Chanel said, looking intently at him. "I know someone inside you can understand me. I want to help you. Please get in the car and come with us. You'll be safe." The madman smiled, but then began laughing uncontrollably. Mercy and Chanel exchanged worried glances, but suddenly he stopped laughing and resumed eating. "Get in the car if you want help, or I'm leaving," Chanel said firmly, opening the back door. After a moment of hesitation, the man climbed into the car. Both women sighed in relief as Mercy drove off, nervously checking her mirrors to ensure no one had seen them. They arrived at Chanel's house about an hour later. Chanel helped the man out of the car and guided him inside. "Welcome home," she said softly as she led him to the spare bedroom. Mercy, however, couldn't shake her unease. "Chanel, I have a bad feeling about this. Something seems off about him. He seems to understand you, but then he laughs like that. It's scary." "I know you're worried, but tomorrow he'll be in the doctor's care. We're almost there," Chanel reassured her. Mercy held Chanel's hands. You know I'm always here for you, right? Chanel nodded. I wish I could stay tonight, but I need to get back to my daughters. Promise me you'll be safe and keep your phone close. I promise, Chanel said with a smile. After Mercy left, Chanel prepared some supper and decided to call it a night. She thought about drawing a bath for the man, but decided it would be too difficult. At 4 a.m., Mercy's phone rang. Mercy, please come home. I've been... Chanel's voice cut off abruptly, leaving Mercy in a state of panic. Without wasting a second, she raced to Chanel's house at blistering speed, dreading what she might find.